C? Oh, you are trying so hard. Can you point to the letter D? That's the letter A. Can you point to the letter J? That's the letter D. Can you point to the letter G? That's H. Now point to the color yellow. Or which one? What color is that?
Yellow.
Okay. What color is this one?
Green.
Green? Well, okay. What color is this one?
Red.
Red? And what color is this?
Blue.
Blue. You know the names of your colors. That's
T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Welcome to the Read by 5 Initiative Show. I'm your host, Dr. Bobby Mills from Bridging the Digital Divide, and with me is Andy Celestine from KCOH Radio. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We have with us Johnny Moloch, who is the Technical Director for Bridging the Digital Divide. Welcome to the show, Mr. Moloch.
Thank you, sir.
Well, tell us a little bit about the organization itself, the 501c3, Bridging the Digital Divide, and what its mission is in terms of overall educational development for not just young people, but for adults as well.
Well, our total mission is to digitally include people and make sure that they are using technology to enhance their educational skills. And so we use software and, of course, computers to do that. And our strategy is to go in and get retired computers from major corporations. And they donate those computers, and then we'll install freeware, shareware, abandonware programs because it's inexpensive. We believe this is a feasible way of doing it. So you take an old retired computer, you load old programming on it, but it's still good programming, and then we place it in environments where those who need it can utilize it. And that is usually in childcare centers and in apartment complexes. And those computers can also be used for ESL, GED, and job searching, for everything, people looking for, the elderly can use it for going and looking for, like Obamacare, if you got to register and stuff like that. So, because most of these apartment complexes, probably 90% of the individuals that live there don't have computers. And so when we go in and we put a computer center in there, then that is the fastest way to transform that computer center into a living learning center or learning environment. And so, of course, again, we put that computer center in there. We can use it for kids, teach them how to read and write with Read by 5 initiative from 2 years old on up. High schoolers can come and use it. We call it a safe haven computer centers. So so the kids can use it for for their homework, because all the schools now require kids to have computers, especially from middle school on up. And then we can also then of course GED, ESL, everything. Because computers can be used for everything now, and if you don't have one, we know the importance of it.
It's a basic learning center.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, with that being said, I want to thank you guys, especially you, Doctor. It's so nice to see you guys. Mr. Moloch, thank you. And on behalf of KCOH, it's a pleasure for you allowing me on this set today of the Read by 5 initiative. Now, I can say firsthand that I am a recipient of one of these computers. And I want to be able to come back and, clean up some things. When he said old data and, different things of this nature. It's, we have so many different apps on computers and programs and different things of that nature that we don't even use. So we have the jingles and all of that. Long story short, I have a granddaughter, and we did this experiment on her because before I wanted to get involved with Mr. Moloch and the Read by Five initiative, I wanted to see if it was something that actually worked. My daughter had her daughter early, and she was born with some learning disabilities. Mr. Moloch gave us a computer, and my granddaughter is reading on a level that is outstanding. And now we call her Duty. She is 4, and she's helping Markayla, and Markayla's 8 and in the 3rd grade. And so I can actually say, not because I know Mr. Moloch, because I know the product. And the Read by Five initiative, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. And when you were in the process of saying something about, people who are incarcerated, and it seems as if you want to reach a low-income demographics. And I actually see why. Because you coming from Texas Southern, and, we're in that area. You see what I'm saying? And so I ran into a young lady that was well aware of the Read by Five initiative after you called the show. And she was like, well, we need someone to actually teach us how to read as parents. And so that's when I say, well, maybe, and I scratched that maybe out, because when I went on the computer and I looked at it and I was like, wow, it can take you even if you do not know how to read, period. There are signs, there are symbols, you're engaged in it. There's the coins, how to count money, how to do mail from the basics. And I mean, the Read by Five initiative program, it is awesome. And I must commend you. And I'm really hoping, that's why I endorse and approve, working with you all on, I have to prove it first. It's wonderful. And what I can say, the computers, they are great computers. We've had ours now for about a year, 2 years, and it's kind of like I want some more stuff on my. It's an awesome thing.
Well, we've added more stuff, more
I
fantastic
would like to get another
stuff.
one. It's a great initiative.
Yeah. And we've actually added. We actually now, when you received it a few years ago, we didn't have a standard curriculum. But now that we kicked off this Read by Five initiative, we actually have a curriculum that the child care center is to follow. So we actually give you a curriculum that you follow, starting off with the Pledge of Allegiance every morning as a group, the national anthem, and of course it's showing all the words and everything. And then it goes through phonetic awareness. So it basically goes down teaching colors. So basically you follow that format, and so that's our goal. Our goal is to give. Let's say, for example, if you're going to homeschool a child, for example, and you didn't have a background in teaching, well, we believe that you could actually follow this curriculum. And of course, we're going to prove that because we're getting an assessment. We actually had UPS and of course our American Legion Post 416, which is now located at the Buffalo Soldiers.
Okay.
They sponsored stage 1 of our Read by Five initiative in this in the 610 loop. Because the superintendent of HISD called the 610 loop of education desert.
Absolutely.
And so, and some that may want to criticize him for that, unfortunately, it's the truth. And so we know that Third Ward was ranked number 16th most dangerous neighborhood in the nation. My daughter goes to TSU, so she's in Third Ward. So also Sunnyside was ranked number 6th in the nation as dangerous, and we all know that's all tied to education. Because I believe that if 90% of our young males and females could read instead of 90% can't read at grade level, I think you would see less crime. And we know that, like you mentioned, incarceration, we know that about 70-80% of our incarcerated individuals are illiterate or can't read. So we know that that's the issue. So yes, we have a curriculum that we follow. The computers are donated. Most of the computers we get received are from major corporations, so they're in very good shape. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So they're not pieces of junk. And the software on there is outstanding, like you said. So and then of course we've added a lot more stuff since then. So this is good for my neighbors who were Hispanic. They saw it a few years ago and said, Johnny, this stuff is fantastic for teaching my uncle. English.
English.
You know, and so
English.
yes. So in fact, the program we received from the Houston Reed Commission actually came to us because the Houston Reed Commission was using it for ESL instead of that. But it was, you can tell it's more designed for pre-K. But of course, if you're learning English, you're both starting from the same boat.
The letter D, the letter E, the letter F, the letter G.
A is a vowel, a letter in the alphabet. A is a vowel, a letter in the alphabet. A is a vowel, a letter in the alphabet. A is a vowel, a letter in the alphabet. Brave, brave, brave. Playing a game. Game, game, game. In the rain. Rain, rain, rain. Case B,
Look forward. Find E.
Where is it? No, where is it? It's on number.
That one? Hey, where's the word?
It's okay.
You put a space there, so you got a backspace and get rid of that. Hit that a couple times. One. Backspace. Once. Hit backspace one time.
What do you find the A?
One more. There you go. Now put E.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. I find it very, very, it's a fantastic effort that you're doing. And I know that you've been on this road for a long time. Do you think that as a community, we are not taking reading, writing, and arithmetic, more so reading, as serious as we possibly should as a community?
I believe as a community and as a nation, we are not ensuring that our kids can read and write by 5. And so, of course, we know the stats say that we call it the 90% rule. If a child can read by first grade or prepare for first grade, they have a 90% chance of continuing to perform at grade level. A child that can't read by first grade or is not prepared for first grade, and that's mostly minority kids, Black and Hispanics, kids fit into that category. If they can't read by first grade, then they have a 90% chance of never catching up. So I don't understand, as a computer guy who didn't know this stuff a few years ago, I don't understand why the nation doesn't ensure it, because we all know the stats. We all know that if you kids are reading and writing early, so why would you wait? The state of Texas does not require kids to go to school till 6 years of age. So you've lost that, when you can learn 5 and 6 different languages from 2, 3, or 4-year-olds. Why are we waiting to
And
educate?
I tell you, when you know how to read, it opens up so many different levels and lanes of life for you, because you have phonetically, so where you can be phonetically aware of what's going on. And I tell you, the Read by 5 initiative, it's an awesome program, and it's an awesome thing that you are doing, Mr. Moloch, and I really want to make sure that you get the support that you actually need, because you've been on this journey for quite some time, and you've been able to partner with a very, very large corporation, UPS. So how does that feel? You got some funding from them?
Yeah, we got UPS funding, and with the American Legion, who are veterans, because we know that and the reason they're partnering with us is because 75% of young adults cannot qualify for military service.
Wow.
That is mind-boggling.
You can't fight for your country.
And so it's considered a national security risk. So I'm a veteran. I was a military brat. Started school elsewhere and everything. But basically, when people say, "Where did you start school at?" Well, I started school in England, graduated in the Philippines, and came from Hawaii to Houston. So, but I've been military all my life. So if we weren't prepared for college, we went to the military.
Absolutely.
You know, that's where I went to the military first because I wasn't prepared for college, but became prepared, and I went and got my degree and my MBA and my master's and stuff like that. So with that said, but I was educated, you know, and I had a good education. I just wasn't taking advantage of it right out of high school. But unfortunately, kids nowadays, the ones that we're trying to help, they're not getting that opportunity. That I always knew I could get my act back together and just work harder. But if
But
you
I
can't
think,
read and write, yeah.
Now the state of Texas is beginning to realize that it's a critical issue. So
Really?
they have provided at least about $130 million for early childhood education, but the money will go to ISDs. And a few months ago, you and I had an opportunity to visit with the state's education advisor to the governor about this issue. And what we ended up doing was trying to figure out a way that we could get a research-based assessment. And we went to Texas Southern University, and we got the College of Education now involved with us. So why don't you explain to the listening audience a little bit about what we're doing in that regard?
Okay. And again, Dr. Mills is the president of our organization.
Yeah.
And so, and Ricky Winslow is our executive director, Phi Slamma Jim, Ricky Winslow. And what we did is, of course, we went to Texas Southern because the governor's office and also some other organizations. Yeah, well, we can say Neil Bush. You know, I wasn't going to say a name, but
Well, we can say Neil Bush with, the Barbara Bush Literacy Foundation.
They told us, hey, look, Johnny, we want to see, Dr. Mills, we want to see that once you place a read by 5 computer in a child care center, once you can show us that computer is going to help kids learn to read and write, then that's maybe an initiative we want to get behind. And so, of course, how can we prove that? We got to do an assessment.
Absolutely.
So we've been doing a video assessment. We've been using a teacher from one of the schools, Texas Serenity,
Ms. Johnson.
Ms. Johnson, to go in and do the video assessment where we recorded, blah, blah, blah. But
Angie at one time worked
Yes,
at
yes, yes.
Texas Serenity
Yeah.
as well. She was
Over transportation and nutrition.
That's right.
and nutrition.
And so, so then they said, hey, look, prove this. And so we need to do a independent assessment. So we got it. So Texas Southern has agreed to, and they're going to do our independent assessment and hopefully show that when children can't read when we first give them the technology, first was months later, or they know their kindergarten readiness skills, and then hopefully within a year or so they'll be reading and writing too. So once we can prove that, and so we believe this is the most feasible. We don't believe that.
You gotta know. You know it.
Yeah, we know it is. Yeah, but we believe that, or we know that this is the solution, a feasible solution to go in to change the environment throughout the nation. Because, like again, 80% of all kids in America go to child care centers, and most of the minority kids are coming out of those child care centers not prepared for first grade. So this is a way, and a feasible way, to make sure they are prepared. And so if we can get this throughout our country, we believe we know that this will change everything. Because 90% of kids can't read and writing versus 90% of the kids who can read and write, you will see a transformation, a biblical transformation.
And there's no transformation like a biblical transformation. And I have 2 more questions, and Doctor, I'll turn it back over to you. Now, do you think that the reason why we're still stagnant, or the reason why we're stagnant, is because, number one, if it would make me feel a little bit uncomfortable if I have a man that is telling me that I have a program, okay, that along with stats, okay, as to where our children are, they're failing because they can't read, but yet they want you to do the assessment. Does that sometimes often give you a setback when you actually know that the oil is in the water and they see it, and they are still asking you to do an assessment?
Yes, but we know how everything is. Everybody says, "Give us proof, give us proof."
Okay, all
research based.
You want research based? Okay, okay.
Now, of course, but before we go on, now of course I know that, and I always make a joke when I'm showing child care centers and others who have actually purchased the program, and I've showed them the program, and I actually, and the computer is saying, saying all the stuff.
Right.
I always joke and say, if I'd had this when my kids were 3 and 4 years old,
Yes.
then I could have laid in the bed and taught them how to read and write.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's
phonetical way.
phonetic. Yeah.
Phonetical way to
Mhm.
teach.
So to answer your question, common sense. When you see us doing these things, certain things every day, you know they're going to learn how to read and write. You don't have to be a degree certified teacher, even though we believe in education. That's what
Yes.
we're pushing.
Yes.
But we know that a 9th grade or a 5th or a 12th grade educated person can teach a preschooler they're what they need to know to be prepared for kindergarten. Especially if you have a computer or something that's going to say everything. All you can do is press a button and it's going to produce everything for you.
Now, this is something that just came to my mind, and I want to make sure that I politically put this out there, and I'm pretty sure that he doesn't mind, but I'm not going to say the name, but I'm going to let you say it. We have a very, very, very famous ball player who openly came out and did countertransference and said that, you know what, we talked about read by 5 in a roundabout way, and I'm 43 years old, and he's probably about 44, 45. Now, I find it that your program was needed way back when for him to say, now, if I would have had this versus a football in my hand. Because a football, a basketball, that's not always the answer. What happens when the lights go off, and the balls are put up? You see what I'm saying? Yes. So, what he was saying is if I would have had this, this particular program or, and everything that you're offering, even, with the money and the millions that he had, he said that he would be in a better place because he doesn't know how to read. You see what I'm saying? And so, Mr. Molak, I wish you well. And like I say, I do approve this message and I will continue to work with you, and whatever you need, let me know, and I'm pretty sure Dr. Mills will do the same, and you're doing an awesome job, and I commend you for everything that you're doing.
Okay. Well, remember, our organization is doing an awesome job.
Absolutely. Well, not only him, but the whole organization. And I mean, I know this is your love child. You eat, sleep it, but it's going to go somewhere, and it is going somewhere.
Okay. Well, we're going to hope that people like you are going to.
I will.
With your marketing capabilities, are going to help us take it this time.
I will.
Well, tell the listening audience again how they can get in touch, how they can donate computers, how they can donate resources to help with the initiative.
Okay. We also have a Computer Olympics we do every year.
Yes.
And our Computer Olympics
University of Houston.
at the University of Houston. And at the Computer Olympics, we have kids from these child care centers that already have the computers. They come and compete against each other in an academic setting on the computer. Who can type the fastest, who can do the math the fastest, who knows the states and capitals the fastest.
Tell me, what sound does the A make?
Ah.
Okay. And what sound does the B make?
B.
B?
B.
Okay, we'll go with that. And C?
K.
Does it make another sound besides K?
For car.
That's correct. Tell me what sound it makes again. Great, that was good. What sound does this letter make?
D.
Or
duck. Quack, quack. It do that, no.
okay, what sound does this letter make?
I don't know.
What letter is it?
M.
What sound does it make?
I don't know.
Okay.
Get ready to exercise and count. Stretch your arms.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Stretch your legs. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pump each arm up. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 2 arm circles. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40.
Repeat after me, okay? A. And. Away. Big. Blue. this on this side. Oh, you left-handed? Not so big, Dominique. Good job, Nia. Write this
Yeah,
word.
make sure it fits into
Right
the box.
colors.
You can move the screen back if you need to.
And I'm gonna have to write this.
No, just try the best you can. You're gonna learn how. You learn right now. You're learning, so you're gonna mess up the beginning, but now then you're gonna practice and learn how to do it real good.
Right in this box, Nia. Left and right. C O L O R S.
G A.
Wait a second. What's this? Speak a little louder for me.
L.
And this?
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, Bridging the Digital Divide, the Read by 5 initiative, and we have with us today a couple of special guests, along with myself, Johnny Moloch, who's the technical director for Bridging the Digital Divide. Johnny and I have been involved for a number of years with computer technology and providing it to the community. Started out at Texas Southern University. We have one of the board members from the organization, BDD, with us, Efren Jernigan, and happy to have you with us today. Glad to be here. And we also have with us Brother Lord, who is a police officer and the founder and executive director of 713 Ministries. Welcome to the show.
You don't like that 713? That's the only
You like
joke
that
with me.
713?
I had a bad habit of calling saying 713.
713, 713.
Tell them that's 713, but everything stands for. That's why I do it.
What the 713, the designation is?
It's the area code.
Area code.
Of inner city, Houston,
Inner
compared to before the cell phone era
came in.
came in.
Okay.
713 was in the inner city.
So that just means inner city, 713.
Inner city, Houston, compared to 281.
Yeah, which is
the
suburban
suburb.
area.
There we
Right.
go. That's it. That's it right there.
Okay, well, good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about when the organization was founded and what was the inspiration for the founding of the organization and what's the objective and how you got involved with BDD and what we hope to accomplish by the partnership.
The organization was birthed from just a dream, an idea that came to me after doing some training with the Voss Urban Institute. Felt like I wanted to take information from just the church and just get out of the wall of the church, but tap into the community.
Church
And,
without walls.
church,
that concept.
definitely, but being able to use holistic approaches from services more than just Bible information. But now we want to be able to love on the people of where they
Some
are.
biblical application.
Definitely, but that part, being able to go in and offer the services such as education, such as health, such as training, such as after-school programs. We always know that if you touch the lives of children, the parents will follow. And we definitely want to be interested in the whole home. But we focus on low-income, at-risk apartment communities because I grew up in Martin Luther King area, and I grew up in an apartment complex similar to where I'm at, and to where we definitely had our own struggles in situation with a lot of single-parent households. Also, being a police officer, it's unique that a lot of times when we talking among each other as police officers, we don't even have to name a street. We can just give the number, 5901 or 1919, and all of us will know what address we were actually referring to without even naming the name of the street. We know those apartments are rough apartments just on the number. So I just had a burden to want to go into those type of apartments to touch those lives of those families, primarily the young people, but like I said, holistically everyone with after-school programs, mentoring, education, as well as other activities. We also do some sports as well, but we want to be able to make an impact and make a change in some of the lives of the young people so that they can be able to give back.
Behind Villa Americana apartment gates, children, more than 300, celebrate a first.
Everybody grab a computer.
New investments, computers, mentors, distractions from harsh realities.
Oh man, you have it from dope, drugs, from gang violence, from just assaults, from just everything that you can imagine. Real high crime rate from right here in this apartment complex alone.
Houston police officer Lloyd Anderson
But this was home.
This was home, right here, apartment 256.
grew up here, scared straight by older brothers.
I called them Ike and Mike. One would hit me from the left, and the other one hit me from the right.
Now he's hitting up friends for donations and using his own money to open this computer lab and learning space.
My philosophy is, let's catch them before we have to catch them.
His charity, 713 Ministries, even hired tutors.
There's nothing they can't do now.
Some call it hope. 11-year-old Willie Edmondson simply sees a safe haven.
To do my homework and stuff so I can get help.
Give them a goal, give them a focus, give them a choice of positive environment, give them a choice of doing what's right. Then you won't have to see me over in the juvenile division. Oh, gotta go back.
So far, investment returns look good. More kids involved than Officer Anderson imagined.
Very good.
In Southeast Houston, Larry Seward,
Out there
KGU.
that's available. See, exposure is what's important to us too, because we take kids on field trips as well, so that they can see the different careers that's available to them. A lot of people just don't know. I was talking to a young man just before Christmas and was talking to him about the military. Well, all the thing he knew about the military was he thought everybody running around shooting guns. He didn't know you had to be a mechanic, or you had to be a supply clerk, or you had to be a medical person. That they have all the different fields that you have
System
in the
technology kind of guy.
you have all those fields that you would have in the civilian life, you have in the military. And the difference between military and college is, to me, they train you and pay you. In college, they just educate you. You still got to get the training, and you pay them to get the education. That's just
You pay them to get a degree.
You pay them to get a degree. Military paying you to get a skill or some type of training. And for those who just can't afford maybe to go into the college right now, military would still be a good option. But if they don't, going back to the read by five, and that's why we're here, if they haven't started off with a good foundation of reading and math and things of that sort, then you're never going to be able to graduate, or if you do graduate, you're going to still be behind and not able to take the ASVAB test and pass it to be able to even get in the military. So it all starts back on the foundation of your education. And Johnny can tell you he's more of a stat person than I am, or as the percentages of those who are not getting in the military.
But I know you know them now, as much as you mentioned it, 75. We're three of us here are military, Air Force, Army.
Yes.
And basically, we know this now, 75% of young adults cannot qualify for military service coming out of high school. And so that's considered a national security risk because of that, And as we tie it all back to early education. And so that's why we got to read by five.
Tragedy.
It's a national tragedy, but it's a national, but in terms of, some people who may not care for some reason, will at least know that, hey, look, it's also, you're nervous about what's going on now in the world. Americans are more scared than ever. Well, hey, look, it's even worse if you don't have the people that can come protect you, and your young people can't even join the military. Most of them want to become gangsters or thugs, and that's because they can't read or can't write. Because we know the stats, that they're third grader, they start determining how many prison cells to build by how many fourth grade boys can read.
Oh wow.
So Texas and California does that, and a few other states. So the key is to get kids reading and writing by 5. That's why we with Lloyd, who went into his apartment complex. I don't know. Did you mention that you went into your apartment complex?
Well, I said one like it, but actually it's the actual apartment complex that I grew up in. Now we went into several others as well, but I was so excited to be able to go back into, and I'll name the number again, 5901 Selinsky, which is a Villa Americana Apartments. For those police officers who heard 5901, they already know that Villa Americana is a tough apartment community. A lot of calls for service, a lot of Sometimes the police have to be called out to the particular location for drugs or for shooting or for all type of various of assaults and things of that sort. So we went into that particular property with the help of the management, Marquise Management. Miss Carol Moore, which is the community director, allowed us to come in and be able to set up the computers through bridging the digital divide. We brought in 8 computers, and within a short period of time, we had the kids learning on those computers. And before we knew it, we were able to go into the Computer Olympics, which is sponsored by Bridging the Digital Divide and Ricky.
Five Slammer Jammer Winslow, our executive director.
Ricky Winslow, Five Slammer Jammer, back in the day.
Son playing with Miami now.
Yeah, his son plays for Miami. The Duke played for Duke when they won the national championship. But at that competition, our kids who never competed before had 3rd place overall, and they were so excited. Now they were gearing up for the next year, for 2016, to be able to at least go. We're going for 1st place. You know, we're going to shoot high for the next time and be able to go in. But just to put them on the computers now, see them working out, learning different skills on the computers has been great.
Now, if for those who don't know about our Computer Olympics, it's a competition we have at the University of Houston every year, and kids compete from ages 2 up to 12 on the computers in educational events. And so you can Google Computer Olympics and go to that website and check it out. And every year at the last Friday of July, usually, we have that competition. About 400 kids come out from the childcare centers where we put the Read by 5 computers in.
And let the Computer Olympics begin.
Thank you. the first time they competed, the Villa Americana, known as the VA apartment complex, 713 Ministries. Did I say it right, Lord?
You said it. You said it.
I said it right. 713. 713. You guys finished third place. First time you ever got it. I hear you. That's usually what happens. The ones that usually come in third the first time, they keep rising on up.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much more.
Now, I'm presenting this to Miss Moore. What's your first name, Miss Moore? Miss Carol Moore. She's been working here for years to get these kids achieving. And so this is one of your first steps in doing that, is competing and winning. So there you go, Miss Moore.
Yeah.
And we actually have a gold medal winner, first time in the Computer Olympics.
All right.
What's your name?
Xavier.
Xavier won a gold medal. What event did you win the gold medal in? Math. And what does every gold medal winner get besides a gold medal? It's got a computer. We want to go into two different locations, child care centers and apartment complexes. That's where the kids are. 80% of our kids attend child care prior to going to first grade. So we want to go and make sure those kids are reading and writing prior to going to first grade, because we know we got the 90% rule. And that 90% rule says that 90% of kids who are not academically prepared for first grade have a 90% chance of never becoming academically or
Never functioning on grade
level, never functioning on grade level. but 90% of the kids who do or can read and write prior to going to first grade have a 90% chance of continuing to perform at grade level throughout their school age years. So most minority kids, Black and Hispanics, don't fit in that category, because we know by stats that over almost 90% of Black males in the Houston area can't read at grade level at the 8th grade. So we know that. We know that doesn't change there. So back to our board member STEM program, who you're trying to get kids in science and technology. Well, if they can't read or write by first grade, they're not going to be looking for no science and technology. You know, so you got
for the basketball court and the football.
Yeah, that's what they see their dream at. That's why most Black males are looking for what? For hoop dreams and football dreams, because they don't see a dream in education. Because
I want to be able to interject on that, because we're not showing them, or the society is not showing them. Society is showing, you got a whole station called ESPN 1, 2, 3 to 13, and they seeing hoop dreams, they seeing NFL, but we don't have an opportunity to see the engineer. It's not glorified to see the engineer working on some charts or doing what an engineer do or what a technician does and things of that sort. There's no way to, we don't glorify that. So
and no one is telling them also the statistical reality of what it is they're aspiring toward, because you only have 32 teams, and each team got 12 players, so 12 times 32, so you're talking about a limited number of jobs.
yeah.
But if you're talking about STEM education, as you know, Ephraim is talking about, that's unlimited. You know, there are no restrictions placed on a person who's a good scientist or a person who is a good person in any STEM field, whether it's engineering or what have you. But there's a limited pool of job opportunities for you in football or basketball, because there are only a limited number of teams and a limited number of positions on each team, and there are thousands, millions of people competing all across the world, because the NBA, they just don't draw from people in America. They're drawing out of China and other places in the world and so forth. So you have limited opportunities, and no one is explaining that aspect of it.
But by the time you
Well,
explain it, it's already too late.
Too late.
Yeah, because even when we had superintendent or former Secretary of Education Rod Page with us, he told us that by the time when he was superintendent, by the time a child got to first grade and he couldn't read and write, he said it was already too late. So what my point is that yes, we want kids to be in STEM, but if they're not reading and writing by 5, there's a good chance they're going to avoid STEM. They're going to avoid everything. They're going to be troublemakers by 2nd grade and 3rd grade. Just like I think the young man that was
act out in order to keep you from realizing that they can't read.
Thank you. They do all kinds of stuff. So the key is it's our job to make sure those kids can read and write by 5. Now they can do all the great things we want them to do.
One great asset is, as our organization is called Bridging the Digital Divide, we're actually using computers and technology to reach them as early as 0 to the 3rd grade. And once we build those seeds of success at that age, then STEM is applicable. And so I like how Anderson was saying a lot of it's transferable as well. I've seen kids learn how to use the computer that makes the parent want to learn what they're learning. And so now you have a parent that's okay with using a computer to even fill out a job application, because there's a lot of parents intimidated with employment because they don't know how to use a computer to fill out a job application. And so
And what we try to do is make sure
Or
we have
even search for a job.
Yeah, exactly. And we want to make those computers at our locations accessible to the parents as well during the daytime, so they can come in and have the internet available for them to come in and not only do job applications, but with your
Job
support,
searches,
with your support and donations, we can also be able to have computer classes so that they can be taught what the basics of the computer information is, so that then when they go to apply for these jobs and they ask, what do you know basic Word or Microsoft PowerPoint and things of that sort, they can with confidence say, yes, I've been trained in that area and I can work here because I know how to do those particular information on the computer.
Yeah, and another asset is there's programming that we can put on the computers that helps the parent. If they didn't get a GED, they can now get a GED just through using the computer. And there's all kind of online courses that they don't even have to leave the apartment complex, and they can actually earn degrees online. And so we have a great tool. We just need to enhance our using of it with more support. And support us if you can, because we're doing some great things. We just need to do more.
Yeah. So again, if we when we put a lab in an apartment complex, we call it a Safe Haven Computer Center, and we do run our Read by 5 initiative out of there. But we also, like everyone's saying, we do GED, ESL, job training, job searching, programs for the elderly, and the labs can be used for so many other things. So you can contact, I know Dr. Mills is going to say that, but you can contact us by going to our website, bddhouston.org, Google, or you can go to Computer Olympics, or you can do us on Facebook or Twitter at the Read by 5 initiative, or Read by 5. And also on YouTube channels, also Read by 5. So again, we just trying to get out here and go to 2 different locations, the childcare centers, which is our Read by 5 initiative in the 610 loop, and then the Safe Haven Computer Centers.
And I got a chance to, been great working with Johnny over the years. I got a chance to meet Johnny. You had asked that earlier, Dr. Mills, through my cousin, who's one of your workers as well, board members, I believe is Jeff. Jeff. And when Jeff we was at a family function.
Yeah, Jeffrey Evans.
Yes, Jeff, and he was asking about my nonprofit. When I told him what I was doing, he got so excited. Ran and got Johnny, brought Johnny over to the apartments where we were at the time. And brought him over, and man, once Johnny saw the kids and saw what we had going, he knew immediately this was a great place for him to be able to put the computers. And from that point on, me and Johnny just been good friends and able to, like I said, we're seeking out those apartment communities. If you are looking to be able to revitalize your apartment community to where you have a safe haven lab. You have residential retention. You know, I worked in that industry as well in the apartment community as apartment manager and a leasing agent, and we know the cost that it takes to move someone in, and they only stay 6 months to a year. They move out. Now you have to clean the carpet, you have to paint the walls, you have to do all this make ready. Well, if you can get a person to stay longer because their kids are involved in the safe haven labs, and they involved in safe haven lab and after school programs, and now we having community meetings about what's going on, and we have festivals, and we have programs going on. Now the residents are staying, the kids are criminal mission. Now that's where the police side of them come in. We're not tearing up. I was that kid. I used to live there. We didn't have nothing to do. Let's break that light. You know.
You told me you was juvenile.
Yeah, and I work in the juvenile division for the Houston Police Department. Right. So, you know, criminal mentions and hanging out, and, you know, after dark, just nothing to do.
But now thank God you got delivered from.
Got delivered.
And now you're trying to deliver others.
Trying to help, just trying to give back, because I've been blessed to be able to receive a decent income through the Houston Police Department and things of that sort. And so because I able to take care of my family, but it's just not about my family. If I live in the community, if I live here in the city, it's about more than just me. It's about those others, because I still have to live and go and live among these, you know, the people of the city. So if they have an issue,
because the bottom line is what we invest in the lives of others comes back into our own.
Definitely.
And that's just a truism about life. And you know, no person is an island unto himself. And unless we reclaim, you know, those young people who have become somewhat wayward or somewhat dysfunctional, unless we can go and reclaim them, there's no hope, you know, for our communities and no hope for our society, because we see what kind of devilish confusion exists in our society today, where we got too many individuals who are involved in dysfunctional kinds of activities. There's too much violence that goes on in America. And you being a police officer, you know, I know you see it every day, and you know, those of us who understand what is going on, we thank God for police. You know, because if somebody told me today that all 5,500 or so policemen who are policing the city of Houston, they on a blue cold strike, and nobody's police, I'm leaving. I'm on I-10.
You probably wouldn't make it out the city.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't make it out. But I'm headed out of here to somewhere where there's a policeman. Well, some policing is going on. So we thank God for you and the vision you had in terms of creating this kind of process within an apartment complex that you grew up in, where you can create a safe haven environment for young people to show them that there is a more excellent way, that you don't have to get involved in a lot of these dysfunctions.
You raced to get here as fast as you could? You were the first? Imagine the other guys, how wet they must be, right? So what are you going to do now? What's your first thing? You're going to work on your writing? That's the right answer. That's a great answer. Hello. Are you very good at taking pictures? Okay, here we go. Back to positions. Everybody look at Alex.
Everybody look at Alex.
I hadn't noticed, America has a crisis. A broken economy for too many, an eroding democracy, and shrinking opportunities. So how can we deal with all of this? Well, our biggest untapped resource is right in front of us. Surprised? Consider this. When Black men graduate from high school with a solid foundation, we go on to solve big problems. We serve our country and earn college degrees in the millions. We build new businesses at a faster rate and contribute more of our income to charity than the average American household. But right now, America is only getting 1 out of 7 black boys proficient in reading by 4th grade, and only 1 in 10 proficient in science by 8th grade. By high school, our country is enrolling only 1 out of 8 young black men in advanced placement classes, and only getting 1 out of 3 off to college. America can do better. Just imagine the things we can accomplish if all of us have a real opportunity to learn. Our country's future gets a lot brighter. See what's possible.